Luke Voit has emerged as one of the league's premier power hitters ever since being traded to the Yankees in 2018. His breakout came this past season when he led the majors in dingers and finished 9th in the AL MVP voting. The converted catcher seems to have the first base position locked up in New York for the foreseeable future, and Yankees fans couldn't be more excited. They embraced him ever since he became a Yankee, praising Brian Cashman for seemingly finding another diamond in the rough. But Voit has been overlooked for the majority of his career. Even dating back to his high school days, he was more sought after as a football recruit than a baseball recruit, with a shoulder injury prematurely ending his football career and allowing him to focus more on baseball. The Kansas City Royals took him with their 32nd round pick in 2009, but he chose to attend nearby Missouri State University to play college baseball. His hometown St. Louis Cardinals took him in the 22nd round of the 2013 MLB Draft, right after Voit's senior season. He'd grinded through the minor leagues and make his debut in 2017 as a 26-year-old for the Cardinals. After 62 games in 2017 and 8 games in 2018, the Cardinals shipped him off to New York for seemingly nothing, with the intent of moving on, but a change of scenery was all that Voit needed. 14 dingers in 2018, 21 more in 2019, and a league-leading 22 in 2020 showed that Voit and his power weren't a fluke, as he became the lowest drafted home run champion in Major League Baseball history.
Oh, Luke Voit.
A long home run for Voit.
Cool hand, Luke.
Another home run for Voit.
Voit hit one to Beloit.
No doubt about that one.
A long home run for Voit. A 3-run blast.
Oh, that Voit is a droid.
Luke Voit goes yard.
Wow, Luke Voit, dead center field.
Oh, what a shot by Voit. And he still leads Major League Baseball. That was a bullet.
That is way back and way gone.
Not an easy place to go opposite field.
Did we mention some insurance? There's your salesman right there. Luke Voit.
As a high schooler, Voit was a stud on both the diamond and the gridiron, receiving D1 interest for both baseball and football. A fullback and a linebacker in the fall and a corner infielder and catcher in the spring. A shoulder injury ended his football career, but allowed him to focus solely on baseball. A dominant senior season on the diamond earned him first-team All-State honors in Missouri, as well as a draft pick in the 32nd round courtesy of the Kansas City Royals. But he decided to go to college and take his talents local to nearby Missouri State University. Missouri State isn't a baseball powerhouse per se, but they have produced a lot of quality Major League Baseball players. 2004 World Series champion and former batting title champion Bill Miller, World Series champion, 2005 NL Rookie of the Year, and 2006 NL MVP Ryan Howard, along with journeyman relief pitcher Brad Ziegler, were all Missouri State Bears prior to entering the major leagues. Voit made an immediate impact for the Bears, taking over the catching duties during his freshman year and was a constant in the lineup during his tenure in Springfield. He didn't put up eye-popping numbers like you'd expect an MLB player to put up during college, but he was solid enough to gain draft recognition. He was expected to get drafted after his junior year, but a torn labrum near the end of his season saw him go undrafted and return to Missouri State for his senior season. He'd rebound nicely in his final college season, and the St. Louis Cardinals rewarded the hometown kid with their 22nd round selection in the 2013 MLB Draft. Voit was a strong-bodied catcher who made solid but inconsistent contact and could never quite put it all together at the plate. He was a good contact hitter, and the power wasn't really there during his college career. He only had 19 dingers across 776 collegiate at-bats, and power developing after making the switch from metal bats at the college level to wood bats at the pro level is rare. But for Voit, all he needed was a change of scenery, the first that would really help shape his career. After his first season in pro ball, Voit was still behind the plate, producing a 242 average with 2 dingers across 46 games. After that season, Voit made the switch from catcher to first base, and with that switch came a whole lot of power. 9 home runs in high A during 2014, 11 more in 2015, and after a promotion to double A in 2016, 19 more. Voit began to emerge as a legit power threat in the Cardinals minor league system. He was bumped up to AAA for 2017, and that's where he really began to take off. A 972 OPS with 13 home runs through 74 games was all the Cardinals needed to see him get called up to the big league club on June 25th, 2017 for his major league debut. He struggled in his part-time role for the Cardinals, racking up more strikeouts than hits to the tune of a 736 OPS, and only 4 home runs during his first partial season in the big leagues. During his first season, he wasn't getting that much playing time, averaging less than 2 at-bats for every single game he appeared in. He was stuck behind Matt Carpenter, who was coming off a career season and had recently made the transition to first base on the Cardinals depth chart. Carpenter and Jose Martinez platooned at first base for the 2018 season, forcing Voit to begin that year in AAA. He filled in for the Cardinals for 8 games to the tune of a 182 average before the organization decided to move on from the young first baseman, shipping him off to New York for a pair of pitching prospects. They'd seen enough of Martinez and Carpenter to write off Voit, a mistake the Cardinals and their fans would soon be regretting. Voit came into New York with the expectation that he would platoon with Greg Bird at first base, but he quickly proved that he was the only man for the job. A 1095 OPS with 14 dingers in 33 games during his first full season in the Bronx made fans quickly forget about the failures of Bird and got them excited for Voit. They had hoped that he would be their next great power hitter, going along with Stanton and Judge. For Voit, it looked like another change of scenery was all that he needed to develop into the player he always knew he could be. That power carried over into his sophomore season in pinstripes as he battled through some injuries to an 842 OPS, complemented by 21 home runs in 118 games. He was beginning to prove that his short power outburst for the Yankees wasn't a joke and that he was a legit power threat. Obviously, the shortened 2020 season was chaotic and ever-changing, but perhaps the only consistent thing was Voit blasting home runs. He matched a Major League leading 22, being the only player with more than 20 and 3 more than the next closest, that being the eventual American League MVP in Jose Abreu. It's a shame really that 2020 was shortened, because Voit was on a historic pace. He blasted his 20th home run of the season on the Yankees' 50th game of the year, joining only Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantle as the only players in Yankees history to accomplish the feat, and Voit himself was the only right-handed hitter in Yankees history to do that. 22 is an important number for Voit. It represents not only the career-high 22 home runs he hit during the 2020 season, but also the round in which he was drafted in. He was passed over and overlooked by every team in baseball 21 consecutive times before the Cardinals gave him a shot. In fact, Voit, the 665th overall pick of the 2013 draft, is the lowest drafted player to ever lead the major leagues in home runs since the draft's first season in 1965, and only the second player ever drafted in the 20th round or later to lead the big league in home runs, sharing that honor with Jose Bautista. His incredible rise to superstardom has earned him league-wide recognition, including MLB Network, who ranked Voit as the 3rd best first baseman in the major leagues and the best in the American League, ahead of even the reigning MVP in Abreu. Entering the 2020 season, MLB.com had Voit as the 7th best first baseman in the game, his first appearance on a top 10 positional ranking in his career. Quite the glow up from a kid who was available to every single team for 20 rounds. Luke Voit was overlooked and undervalued throughout his entire baseball career, and needed only an opportunity to prove everyone wrong. He went from an injury-riddled catching prospect to one of the best first basemen in the game, and looks to be a force in pinstripes for years to come. He's established himself as one of the most feared bats in the game, with the possibility of launching the ball over the wall every time he comes to the plate. I'm excited to see how many dingers Voit will launch in 2021, and if he can repeat as Major League's home run champion.